Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today on this live stream. Whether you join me at some point today or whether you watch it back on the replay, it is great to have you with me. So today is Tuesday, the 27th of February 2024. And I hope you're well. Hope you're well. So I know it's late in the afternoon, but in my desire to be committed and consistent, I am jumping on and doing a live stream today for you. It's been a really, really busy day for me, but needs must, and I must come and deliver what I promised I would deliver. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is eating out on the weight loss journey, because today, one of the reasons I've been busy and doing this live stream now is because I've been eating out. I've been out for a lunch, which was really, really nice, and then went over and spent some time with my grandchildren, and not long got back in and really wanted to talk about eating out on the weight loss journey. So if you're new to my channel, if you are new to me, then I have been on a journey to improve my health, and in doing so have lost 115 pounds to date. I am following the Weight Watchers program, and I've lost the bulk of my weight on that program. So I wanted to talk about eating out because within the community of Weight Watchers, and sometimes within other weight loss communities, sometimes I see where I was when I first started my journey. And with the great thing about the Weight Watchers plan is absolutely nothing is off limits, nothing is off the table, and it has its benefits. It also, in my opinion, has some drawbacks. But one of the things that is good about it is that it allows us to enjoy meals out without the stress and the worry that can be associated with eating out. However, whilst I say that, on my journey, when I decided to rejoin Weight Watchers back in, it was January 2019, all of a sudden, there were just like invitations to eat out coming out of the woodwork. I'd never had so many invitations before, and it almost seemed like, because I was now on this journey, this weight loss health wellness journey, all these invitations came. Maybe that was just the universe, I don't know. But for me, I panicked, and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? And how am I going to manage that? Because I'd recognized that it was a lot of the foods that I was eating and choosing when I was eating out had contributed to 10 stone weight gain. And so, for example, I would eat at home to have my breakfast. Then I'd go shopping, maybe if it was part of my everyday activities. I'd pick up something like a McDonald's to eat, and then I would start to get ready in the evening. And then if we were going out somewhere to eat in the evening, then I would be eating there again. And the concept of, making healthy choices and wise choices gone out the window. Hadn't even entered my mind. And looking back, I could see how easily I had gained 10 stone. So that was my pattern. And I would eat out regularly. I love eating out. And I would do that regularly, both at restaurants or with family and friends or picking up snacks. You name it, I would do that. So when I started we'd started on my weight loss journey, it almost seemed like the invitations were now magnified, and there was a bit of panic about what am I going to eat? How am I going to navigate this? Because in my mind, eating out was a culprit and had contributed to a lot of weight gain. So in my mind, if I was going to change that narrative, if I was going to now be on this journey to lose weight, it was like, one, I can't go out to eat because that is what made me pile on the weight. Or two, if I do, then I've got to go about this with caution. So a panic set in, a lot of panic. And it took me a while to really navigate my journey to understand that I can make healthy choices, eat out, and lose weight. And yeah, we know the narrative. We know that Weight Watchers say nothing is off menu, and they have some fantastic tools in the app to support eating out, like the restaurant guide, which I think is fantastic. There was all of these, but still in my head, I knew what was available on the Weight Watchers plan. I knew that nothing was off topic, off menu. I knew that I could use my daily points, my weeklies, and my rollovers. I knew all of that. But up here, there was still that barrier. There was still that barrier. So I really had to do some work because I had that all or nothing mindset. And you may well be familiar with it, that all or nothing. It's like, I am following this plan and I'm going to follow it to the letter. And in following it in the letter, I hadn't navigated the whole topic of eating out. So I was going to follow the plan, follow it to the letter, or I was going to throw everything out the window and just go and just have a massive blowout and enjoy myself. So that's where I stood. It was the all or nothing mindset. And as time went by on my journey, I realized that actually that was totally the wrong mindset to have. Was the wrong mindset. And I started to learn, actually, it's not all or nothing. It's not either or, but I can enjoy the lot. I could enjoy the lot. But again, for me, it was very much a mindset shift. I really had to do the work on the mindset, because there was a lot of when I got to the point where I thought I can have it all and I can use those tools and I can plan those meals out in, there was still guilt. There was still guilt around eating out. And at that point in my journey, I didn't really tell many people that I was on this weight loss journey, because I just felt that that's going to scupper me. So I only told like really close family and friends. And if I was going out with my friends, most of them didn't know. They didn't know I was on a weight loss journey. So by not telling them, I avoided all of that question and those comments about should you be having this, or those side looks on when I'm ordering. Didn't want that. So all of that wasn't an issue for me. But what was an issue was up here, was the mindset. And learning to navigate the weight loss journey to say it's okay, it's absolutely fine to eat out, but without the guilt. And it's a work in progress. As you all know, it is a work in progress. And now that I've been on my journey for 5 years, or restarted my journey, because I've been on my journey for 39 years is the reality, but back on the journey and committed and consistent on the journey. It's been five years. I'm at the point now where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable and I'm confident. I'm confident in my choices, and I have that self-belief. I believe, I know, and I'm confident that I could go to any restaurant and make a healthy choice for me. But that has taken time. For me, it didn't happen overnight. It's taken time. It's taken a lot of time to be able to understand the foods that work for me and my body, the foods that I enjoy, the foods that restaurants provide and offer, but most importantly, to enjoy it without guilt. So if you're following my journey, you know that I don't track my food. I don't track my food. And since I've stopped tracking my food on the Weight Watchers app, I've lost 15 pounds since September. And that has come over time. It's come with learning. It's come with building my self-belief. And it's come with learning to be confident and to spread my wings and fly. Okay. So it's not, I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, Angela's still losing weight and she's not tracking. I don't need to track. No. I put a lot of time and energy into really understanding what foods work for me, the portions and the quantity and the quality of the foods, but also putting in those mindful habits of eating slowly, really appreciating my meals. And that, all of that has supported me to continue losing weight whilst I'm not tracking, because in a word, tracking, I hate it. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. So the same way that I've had to build my confidence around that, I've had to build my confidence around eating out. And when I say eating out, it could be buying a sandwich from the local supermarket, to going to Nando's or, the Harvester like I did today, or going to a fancy restaurant and eating there. When I refer to eating out, I mean eating a meal that is not from my own kitchen. Yeah. Um, so that's what I'm referring to when I say eating out. So over time, I've used things like the Weight Watchers app, the restaurant guide, all of those tools to help me to identify the choices that work for me when I go out to a restaurant or when I'm eating out. And then after a while, and my confidence started to grow, because Weight Watchers tells us that the plan is a lifestyle. And I wanted to truly make it a lifestyle for me. And so I started to think about this and I was like, well, am I going to, in all seriousness, in the next 5 or 10 years, be checking the app and looking at restaurants and the food choices and the points value when I go out to eat? Is that realistic for me? It might be realistic for you, and if it is, go for it. But is it realistic for me? Every time I want to go for a meal, I'm going to be flicking through my app and looking at the points value of food. And I thought, no, that is not realistic for me. That is not the lifestyle that I want to live. So I decided to find what works for me. So on days like today, I went to the Harvester. I love the Harvester. I love, really, really enjoy their food. And it was lunchtime. And I knew what I wanted even before I got there, because I've had it before, and more often than not, when I go to the harvester, it'll be the same thing. And I go for the chicken, go for the chicken, and I go for the rotisserie chicken. It is the breast, the wing, and the leg, the thigh. So it's literally half a chicken. And I always go for that. One, because it's chicken, and I will eat the breast, and I absolutely will eat the thigh. I don't eat the skin. I don't like the skin, but I will have that, and it is dripping in its oils. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all, because I think to myself, I'm going there, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy my meal. Um, and I had with that some chips, because I do enjoy their chips. And also there was a corn on the cob as well. I also started it with the salad, because I really enjoy their salads, really enjoy it, and a bread roll. So that was my lunch. Didn't track a thing, didn't point a thing, because I'm confident in my choices. So because I knew I was going for this meal, I was going for lunch, I started. Okay, I do apologize about that. The battery just died. The battery just died on my device. So I do apologize. I hope you're still there with me. Hope you're still there. Do let me know if you are still with me. Pop something in the chat box to let me know that you're still here with me. But yeah, sorry about that. That's technology for you. Battery just died. So yes, so where was I? So I'd had this meal. I'd ordered my half a chicken from the rotisserie, um, and had a salad and a bread roll. So the way that I navigate that is, I always start off with salad, and their salads are so delicious, so fresh. And I usually go for all of those things that I know are those zero pointed foods. So it's a lettuce, the cucumber. In fact, I wish I'd taken a photograph of my meal. I always forget to do that when I eat out. So I had the cucumber, the lettuce. I also had the beetroot. Love the beetroot. Love the beetroot. And I love their potato salad, but I know that all of that creamy sauce is going to be a lot of points, if we're talking points. And also a lot of, like, all that creamy mayo, fatty, it's going to have a lot of fat, but I do enjoy it. So I just had, it was probably half a teaspoon. They have the spoons. I just had half of that in there because I wanted the taste of that. Um, they had pasta, and I don't really eat pasta, but this particular pasta today looked really good. So I think I think it was 3 or 4 of the penny, the penny pasta, and it was in a red devil sauce. So I had a little bit of that. And that was it. That was my salad in a bowl. And then I had a bread roll with the Lurpak. So, and I had a tiny, tiny bit of their blue cheese sauce. Okay, so if I was thinking about points, that would, I don't know, be maybe very low. But I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to enjoy it. So I sat down and I enjoyed it. But again, because I'm such a slow eater, I only got through about a quarter of that. And, you know, their bowls, the size of the bowls, if you've ever eaten in Harvester, which is like a regular bowl, it was probably less than half full. Now, back in the day, that salad bowl would have been flowing over and it would have been literally covered with loads of sauce. Literally, it would have been mountain high. And I looked at that today and I thought, well done, Angela. Well done. You've made some healthy choices at that salad bar, and your bowl is less than half full. So I gave myself a pat on the back, spoke to myself, and gave myself some praise for making that choice. I then decided I'm going to have a bread roll. I love their brown bread, their brown bread rolls, the wholemeal one. And I had low pack butter. So I cut me butter in, me bread roll in half, spread it all, used all of that. But again, because I eat slowly, I cut, so the bread roll is cut in half and then cut again. So now I've got 4 pieces. Because I eat slowly, I only ate 1 piece. Only ate 1 piece. So literally a quarter of that bread roll I ate. Again, I was like, well done, Angela. Because what I've learned is just because I'm eating out doesn't mean, you see, that mentality back in the day, the mentality that used to hold me back and led me to overeating and overeating in epic quantities, paying for it. So get your money's worth. That was a mindset that held me back on my weight loss journey. And for 2 of us, that meal came to about 35 quid for 2 of us. And my friend cleaned the plate, cleaned the plate. And I was pleased because they absolutely enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. They had ribs. They had ribs. And it looked so good. They absolutely enjoyed it. But back in the day, my mentality would be, I'm paying for this meal. So I am going to get my money's worth. I'm going to have my fill. And that would cause me to overeat. And because I was going to overeat because I'd paid me money, I would be probably consuming a huge amount of calories and a huge amount of points. But now I have a different mindset. Different mindset. So as I mentioned, I had my salad bowl, which was less than half full. And it was all of those zeros with a tiny little bit of the sauce, the blue cheese sauce. Ate a quarter of my bread roll, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the main meal came. The main meal, and I say I went for the rotisserie chicken, half a chicken. It was dripping in the fat or the butter or whatever they cook it in. It was juicy, it was moist, it was succulent, it was absolutely delicious. But again, ate it really slowly, really slowly. And when the girl passed by, I asked her for a takeout box because I knew that I'm not going to sit and eat all of that. So cut it in half, took a bit of leg, a bit of the breast wing, and the rest went into my takeaway box. And because I put half of that chicken, half of my fries, and my sweet corn in that takeaway box, what was now left on my plate, and you know me, guys, you know what I'm going to say? Size of my hand. Size of my hand. In fact, it was about 3/4 of the size of my hand because I'd already had my bread and my salad roll. I did take my bread home as well. Took my bread home and the rest of my salad. So now on my plate is a small meal because they're big portions. Half a chicken, that's a big amount, and typically that would feed a family of 4. Well, in my house it would. So now I'm having half a chicken. That's enough to feed 2 people. And all of this was for me. So by cutting it in half and just having half the portion on the plate, mindset kicked in. Half of it was in a takeout box. It was out of sight. And what was left on my plate was, this is mine. I can now really enjoy this. And I did. Absolutely did. So whatever the points value of that chicken, and I know that if you're counting points, that chicken would have been high in points. It was now literally half. Literally half. And then we had a Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, and it's the draft one, the one that you get from the machine as opposed to the bottle one. And I don't really like that. It doesn't taste good. It tastes very watery. So I literally only had, a couple of sips. So my meal and my day out, my lunch out, I could now thoroughly enjoy, absolutely thoroughly enjoy, because now for me, lunch wasn't so much about what I was going to eat because I'd managed that. I'd got that under control. For me, it was now about spending time with my friend and having lunch with my friend. And we were chatting, we were having a lovely time, but lunch was now managed and I could focus on all of those things that I do on my weight loss journey, to eat slowly, to eat mindfully, to thoroughly enjoy my food, but more importantly, to enjoy my friends' company. And that's how I typically now navigate eating out. Always enjoy eating out that way. And that then allows me to not panic, to not worry, to not have the guilt about eating out, not stressing about what am I going to choose? What shall I choose? And you know what? It was chicken today because we were eating at the Harvester. But if we'd gone to another restaurant, it could have been somewhere where I chose a burger. That principle for me would have still been exactly the same. It would have been cut it in half, or maybe if it's, one of these great big stacks, burger stacks, maybe there's another restaurant that I do like near me, and they do really good burgers. And when I do, again, ask for a takeout box when I place my order, and I just cut it, because gone are the days like where I could pick up a burger that eye and eat it. I can't do that. It won't fit in my gob. So I don't tend to do that. I usually I've got a really bad habit when I'm having burgers. Like, and if I'm with my son's like, Mom, why have you ordered a burger if you're going to eat it like that? But it's just too much. It's too thick. So I have 2 things that I do with burgers. I either cut them in half, and half will go in the take home box, and I'll eat the other half. Well, more often than not, I dissect the burger. So I take off the bun, because I'm like, that's just way too much carbs for me. And if I eat the bun, I'm going to be comatose before I leave the restaurant. So I usually take off the bun and then eat the whether it's a chicken burger or a beef burger, usually eat that. And whatever the filling is inside of that, maybe the lettuce or the sauce. So again, I've cut the points, cut the calories literally in half. So those are my strategies when I'm eating out. And so for me, I am at, and I know everybody's different, and you will find what works for you. But what works for me is I do not stress about where I'm going to eat. I just I just don't stress about it at all. Life's too short for me to be stressing about where I'm gonna eat and what is the points value of something, and is it gonna be, the lowest point this or the low way past that. And I appreciate that when I was at the start of my journey, that was a concern. But as I grew in confidence on my journey, no longer an issue because I've got that strategy about always having my meals the size of my hand, no bigger than that. So, and that, I say, that works wherever I go. Even if I go to McDonald's and we have a McDonald's meal, it'll be the same principle. If it's bigger than the size of my hand, I ain't having it. If it's a burger, I usually take off the bread and then you eat the inner, or cut it in half, something like that. Um, yeah, and then I'm just careful around my sides. But for me, eating out is to be enjoyed. It's to be it's a social occasion and an occasion, yeah, to be thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed. Oh, by the way, I did bring home the box, my takeout box with the other half of my meal. So that's gonna be my dinner. I'll probably have some of that. Well, it's 6 o'clock now, and then don't eat after 7. So I'll probably have a little bit of that. But the bulk of that I'll have tomorrow. So even that mindset of I've paid for it, I'm not wasting it, doesn't stack up for me anymore because I'm taking it home and I'm still going to eat it like the next day or another or later in the evening. And then what I had for my first meal of the day, I just had some macafee yogurt because I knew that I was going to be eating out. And then this evening, I mean, it's 6 o'clock now. I may have just a little something, but if not, maybe just some soup, but something really light. So for me, I've got to the point now where I'm planning. I'm really planning. I've got that strategy, but no stress, not stressing at all about where should we eat. I don't need to look at the restaurant guides, don't need to look at the menus, don't need to calculate any points. And that's the life that I want to lead. And you may be completely different, and that's fine. That's the life I want to lead. So for me, my weight loss journey fits into the life and the lifestyle that I want to lead, rather than letting the weight loss plan, um, rather than my life fitting into the weight loss plan. Because when I was stressing and worrying, oh, I can't eat here, I can't eat there, how many points, which restaurant has got the lowest, or I'm going to have an Indian, what's the lowest pointed thing I can have? Or, I'm going to go to Nando's, what's the lowest point thing I can have? That was for me, my life fitting into the plan. And I often ended up going and eating and ordering a meal that wasn't satisfying up here or in my belly because I was trying to put the plan first. But now, because I've grown in my confidence, I've grown in the knowledge of what works for me. I've got my strategies, and I know that I want to enjoy my meals when I'm going out. I want to enjoy my time when I'm going out. My approach is now very different. I go to the restaurants that I really enjoy. I choose the foods that I know I'm going to enjoy, whether it be a rotisserie chicken dripping in butter or a burger or fish and chips. I went to this restaurant the other day with my friend, and I just ordered the fish and chips because that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And again, ordered my takeout box, cut it all in half, took half away with me. Yeah, because that's the life I want to live. But in saying that, it takes time. It takes time to do that. And yeah, it comes with time, it comes with confidence. What are your strategies, guys? Do you have a strategy for eating out? Have you now got the confidence to just go to any restaurant and make the best choice you can, the choice of food and drink that you want? Or are you still on that path where you're still looking for the lowest point, trying to make it fit? Where are you? I'd love to know. Leave me a comment. Do leave me a comment. So for the rest of the week now, we're on Tuesday. The rest of the week, I know I don't even have the mentality of I'm going to pull it back. The rest of the week, I'm like, I know what healthy choices are. I know what healthy meals are. I know what healthy portions are. I'm just going to carry on and do that. Make those healthy choices rather than panicking and thinking, right, I need to pull it back now. I'm going to pull it back. Because for me, my mother always said a pound of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And for me, my prevention was learning not to overeat. It was the overeating and that habit of overeating that made me put on 10 stone. So going out and overeating, and back in the day, guys, I used to eat so much because I was paying for it. I would leave the restaurant and my stomach was so bloated I couldn't even move. Everything was being unzipped, feeling sick, and I'm worrying. The panic and the worrying was, how am I going to get off this chair and move? That was because I'd overeaten. So I had to learn to manage my relationship with food and to learn to enjoy food and to make those food choices without the guilt, but learn not to overeat, to bring that eating in control. And once, for me, now that I'm learning, I don't want to say I've learned it because it's an ongoing journey. Now that I'm learning what overeating looks like, feels like, and the impact it has on my body, but also putting in place those strategies not to overeat. But also, if you were with me last week, I talked about tracking those behaviors, tracking the behavior of overeating, but also not overeating. And again, did it today, tracked it, tracked not the food. I didn't track my food, but I tracked my behavior and put in place the skill of learning to not overeat. And when I do that, I feel good about myself. I was able to get up out of that chair and leave the restaurant with me leftover box in tow. I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling like, you know what, I've got this. I'm so in control that I could go anywhere and eat, not stress about points, not stress about, quantities, not stress about, how's it going to fit into my plan, but make the choice, enjoy my meal, enjoy my time out with my friend, and, and leave feeling good about me. And it's been a journey. It's not been easy. It's been a journey. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And as usual, I'm not giving any advice. I'm not recommending that you do what I do. I'm not giving medical or any professional advice. I'm just sharing what I do. And if what I do works for you, then You know, I hope it helps you, but it might not work for you. You might find that, you know, tracking every morsel works for you. You might find that, you know, using the restaurant finder and planning those meals and, you know, finding the lowest point, this or that. If that works for you, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, we just have to find what works for us. But that works for me as part of the lifestyle that I want to live and lead. So there we are, guys. There we are. That is my vlog for today. And I hope you found it of value. And thank you so much for being with me today, whether you're with me live or whether you're going to watch it on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Well, I'm back at work at 7 o'clock. So I am going to go make me a cuppa. And I might have a little bit of that chicken, from today. I might have a little bit of that. Yeah, I might have a bit of that with a bit of bread roll. And, yeah, it was good. Honestly, the Harvester does the best chicken. They're not paying me for this, but if the Harvester do wanna, you know, work with me on this, I'm happy to do that. But their chicken, rotisserie chicken, is the best. Oh my days. I love Nando's, but Nando's doesn't even compare to the Harvester chicken. So yeah, it's all good. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. I'm going to sign off now, but I will be back tomorrow in my efforts to be committed and consistent. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely, lovely evening, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.